Hopefully you can hear me, you're receiving me. It's not frozen. Anyways, it's been a minute since I've been on here, probably a month or more. New setup since the last time I recorded. And yeah, Holy Mercury retrograde. Mercury goes direct end of this week here, but there's a couple week shadow period after that. But Mercury retrograde in Cancer, been all up in my feels, deep internal work, healing, slowing it down, requiring extra rest, reflection, much nostalgia, much memories coming up from the past for review, reflection, grieving, healing, releasing, all of the things, and just much going on in my physical life. So just hadn't had the opportunity, but here I am. Wanted to say hello, still had all the decks out here. I'm still here, still doing my thing. I'm just kind of pruning, my life in certain ways, certain regards, and like switching up the order and where I do things, the place I do things, my schedule, allowing more time to receive inspired ideas. Sometimes all it takes is, switching up the routine of the way you do things in the morning, or switching your route, that you take daily. Implementing just a small amount of change is enough to make significant changes, to cause a significant transformation. Yeah. Small changes over time lead to lasting change, however you want to say it. So let's just tap in, see what we need to know here. Anything I can tell the beautiful collective tuned in. And as always, if you're wanting to see more from me, longer messages, if you've been missing me coming on live weekly the last month or so, you can always join us in Patreon. Link for that is all over. It'll be in the pinned comments below, as well as in the description box. And know that when you join Patreon, you get access to my most recent message, plus all of the content, all of the messages, everything I've ever shared in there. And I've been sharing in there for years. So, yeah, for the price it's $11.11 a month, and you get access to, you can join for a month, join, for as long as you want. You could just go hog wild and binge all of the content and stay for a month, or you could just watch it gradually. What works for one doesn't necessarily work for another. You have to find your own unique process, way of doing it, but the tools are there and available. Hierophant and Seven of Cups are multidimensionality and understanding we are both the student and the teacher both. And we have this understanding that we are both the student and the teacher both because we understand our multidimensionality, that we are here operating on multiple different planes, right? Yes, the physical plane, but the unseen realms, the higher realms. We are both the soul, the oversoul, right? And the human having this experience. And when, it gets real trippy when you get to this space where you just live from the space, you can simultaneously see what you're experiencing and why you're experiencing it, and you understand it, even if your human would prefer not to be going through it. Of course, there's those moments, if we're already depleted, or our nervous system isn't regulated, or, we're undernourished, or we're just overworked, if we're overtired, we tend to make different choices when we're in that space versus when we're in a space of fulfillment. So, don't shame yourself if you slip back into old ways, behaviors, ways of thinking momentarily. It's all growth. Even what feels like a pause or a step back is actually propelling you forward. There's, if there's something repeating, continuing to show up for you, you can trust that there's something to learn here for you. It's not punishment. It's always preparation, so we can be poised for the next leg of our journey here. And truly, once you get to this place of understanding, there is no punishment, from our Creator. Our Creator is loving. I choose to believe that, in a loving, benevolent Creator, not one that will punish us, right? Like, not one that gives us free will and then says, but if you don't do this, you will be punished. That's not free will. That's not choice. Yeah, you have all the choices in the world, but you can only make these, or else you will be eternally damned to a burning hell. I just don't subscribe to that theory, those stories. Yeah, it's releasing that religious dogma, religious trauma. Knight of Cups, loving ourselves, romanticizing our love, ourself, our life. Hello, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Exactly, you get it. The punishing, make a misstep, do something wrong, and you will be burning in hell forever. Those are man-made concepts that were introduced around the fall of the Roman Empire, but just know that they were made to serve men, a few select men, and not so much the greater whole, right? Those that were out to serve themselves and didn't understand our interconnection. And then, you know, the beliefs just continue to expand and get passed down until they are seen as the only truth. But we're here to reverse that. We're here to say, you know, to speak the uncomfortable things, to say the things that others avoid. Six of Pentacles, reciprocity. We're here for balance, the return of the divine feminine and the divine masculine both, right? The divine feminine rising isn't to overpower the masculine, but it's to restore balance, you know, and to honor all that is sacred. It's time for us as humans to evolve, to graduate. We're really operating like as a collective. I know if you're here, you're watching this, you're doing the work. You know, expansion, evolution, maturing is the name of the game for you, but the collective energy is really at a toddler, infant level, thinking that we are the wisest species on earth. But if we were the wisest species on earth, would we really, you know, this was in Patreon as well, I shared on this. Universe, one song. It's like that Trevor Hall song about love, right? Like, how can we wage war knowing we're all under the same sky? Like, how delusional, how disconnected from your true self must you be to believe that you can harm another and that it won't come back to bite you? So, Russia, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here, friend. If you're just tuning in, you could say hello. You could let us know where you're tuning in from. Share with us how you're feeling in these energies. Yeah. I often wonder what people from other countries think. I mean, I know what they think when they look at the US. They probably think we're crazy for staying here. I think so some days, most days too, but here we are. Trust where you are planted, trust where you are guided. What do we have? The Hierophant and can't remember. Oh, our multidimensionality, Seven of Cups. Anything else we need to know? I could ramble about this forever. Yeah, Three of Pentacles. Shared vision, collaboration, building the new. And we do so, you know, how are you going to find your soul tribe if you don't share your authentic self? Queen of Pentacles. Share what you're here to share. Create what you're here to share. Say the thing. Do the thing. Make the move. Boots on the ground type energy. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. And as always, if you're, you know, I think I mentioned this at the beginning, if you would like further messages, longer messages from me, you can join the Patreon community. I'm also available for personal readings, personal guidance, to work with me one-on-one for routine sessions or a one and done, whatever works for you. Three of Wands, Nine of Wands. Yeah, we've healed the things, and with the healing work we've done, incoming opportunities from this space of knowing our multidimensionality. From our space of being willing to say the thing. The Empress. From our willingness to step into our power, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. This, I spoke about this in Patreon as well. Calling back our power, living from this space of empowerment, remembering, understanding who you truly are, living from this space of knowing. When you truly know, the goal isn't to overpower others, it's to remain sovereign, you know, authentic to yourself and inspire others to do the same, because we understand, yes, tarot, we understand that the more, but I'm also just channeling and see what wants to come through in the energies here based on what y'all are needing to hear, I guess. But yeah, it's not overpowering others. It's understanding that as we step into our power, we inspire others to do the same. And there's room for all of us to shine, right? Dropping that competition and that comparison energy, understanding that no one can take your place. No one can sing your song, right? Universe, one song. We are all extensions of the one source, and we all have our individual unique melody to play. And no one can play it like you do. Seven of Wands. I would say yes here for you, girl. This is bravery, courage, the belief as you step forward, as you do the thing, also continue to affirm your power, right? Like, don't, if that doubt pops up, It's just being asked to be soothed, for you to remind yourself of what you know to be true. It's completely normal for doubt to pop up, especially if we're, stepping through a threshold, doing something we've never done before that makes us, our human self, feel uncomfortable. This is where you would remind yourself of your multidimensionality, right? And even though my human is doubtful, even though I feel fearful, my soul understands that the things that make us feel the most fearful oftentimes have the greatest benefit on the other side here. 7 of Wands, 7-7 here as well, so that might be significant for you. Remember who you are, remember your power, and remember no one can take your place in space. So with that, I'm sending so much love. I will see you all soon. I'm not going to say when. Maybe I'll be back next week or in the next couple weeks, but if you're needing something in the meantime, please reach out. Be sure and subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified when I go live again, and I will see you all soon. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your healing. Thank you for your contribution to the collective. Know that every choice you make that serves you serves the whole.